So even the religious circles, if you look online today on social media, you see great religious leaders talking and preaching the gospel online and passing their messages online. That is technology. So I think that technology is just that tool, that element, that thing that has come to stay. And I think that today we may say a little bit about that, and we'll continue to talk about technology as the month unfolds.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Musoke, for that. Let me come to you, Mr. Michael. You are an ICT personnel and you know much about technology. I want to look at the Western world comparing it to our Africa contents. In this 21st century, how has technology impacted Africa? Because in the Western world, a lot is being done there when it comes to technology, but Africa itself, you as somebody who is in the field, how have they embraced this technology?
Thank you, Madam Elise. I think that is a very important question. And if we want to talk about the technological revolution, we call it the digital revolution. You know that we are operating within the tech industrial revolution. And one of the things we should know is that whenever there's a technological change, there's always a gap created. And the gap created, it will be in favor of those who have the trademark, those who develop that pattern of that technology. So from time, Africa had been left behind. If I can bring you a little bit back from the second industrial revolution, was what the production of what electricity, where you see the discovery of planes, vehicles and all of that within the second industrial revolution. None was produced in Africa. And so when you look at the report from different standard organizations, you see that we are still at the bottom line of this technological revolution, and there is a need to accelerate until we address a few key things, by be it at the level of the government and at the population itself, before we can digitally climb the ladder and be competitive like what is done in the developed country. You should know that technology itself is contributing hugely in terms of the GDP of those countries who develop it. But in the context of Africa, only few African countries are benefiting from this contribution. In terms of Cameroon, we are already contributing very little in terms of what the technology, and with that, we cannot fully benefit from the aspect of the technology that is already benefiting all the other countries, like what you said. And I think that our reasons being here is to guide the population and begin to tell them also what is in the trend, what is supposed to be done to accelerate the ladder to be competitive like other countries.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Michael. The next time, because you are the coordinator of ICT certification programs at UB, we'll come and ask you something directly on that. What is UB doing? What is your department or your school doing? Partnership to ensure that you bring this knowledge to our Cameroonian content. I'll come back. Let me first of all come to Mr. Musoke. Mr. Musoke, the first question I asked you was because if you look at the world, you look at the youth, the way they use this, because technology, we're talking about our phones, our computers and apps and what the things they do there. We are talking about cyber security. There is an increased rate of cyber crimes. And if you want to look at those who are fully involved, 100% is made up of young people. That is why I asked you if they were fully oriented from the beginning, because most of them believe that they can use this thing, and they are trained personnel also. They have gone to schools and received training. Instead of using it the right way, they are using it to do a lot of malpractices online.
Yeah, criminology is a course. It's a university course, a university program even, where they teach people issues that are related to crimes. And crime is not only in the cyberspace. Crime is universal. If we could look behind, realize that there have been so many crimes, even before the advent of technology, the ICTs. Crime has been existing. So, but now it has just been shifted to the cyberspace. So it's not new. So people now are using technological gadgets, people are using connectivity of the internet, and they have come up with a lot of methods in which they can hack systems, they can get into systems and make data compromised, if I may use that word, and so on. So cyber criminality is just one of the crimes or the criminalities that do exist in the world. But this one takes place in the cyberspace. This one takes place in the world of the internet, and so on. And gadgets, systems, databases, and so on are hacked, and their content compromised. Mm-hmm. So I just wish to say that it's not like people have not been well oriented. Criminology is something that has been existing, but it's just that smart guys have decided to misuse the availability of technology, especially the ICTs. And it's not only youths. They are for people from all grade. Youth, all men are cyber criminals also, and you have institutions that are cyber crime institutions that work in a strong network worldwide, and that is why the issue of studying cybersecurity and probably cloud computing is very, very important today. And many companies want youths that are competent in such areas today, so as to protect their system, to work with them and make sure that their systems are not compromised. So I just wish to say that cyber crimes will continue to be there in as much as the internet do exist, because they use connectivity to get into systems and so on. So it's something which has come to stay. That is why it's good to train youth, train people to be able to counter. And it's also good to train people that can develop systems that will counter these cyber criminals that are growing on a daily basis. And they are also there because they too are using it as a means of living. It's a means of livelihood. They don't have other means. And since they have the knowledge, they use now their knowledge to dupe and to hack and to do all type of crimes in the cyberspace, so that they too can have money. They hack for ransom and many things, so that this too now helps them to live their lives, take care of their families, and so on. So it's difficult to bring an end to crime in all the sectors of life. This one is a crime that has come to say it's growing in a more complex scenario. So it's the best way to counter it is to train human beings who should be able to either on their own come up with systems, come up with programs, come up with softwares which are already there, but come up with more sophisticated software that can detect and so on. And also people who have knowledge in cyber crime, knowledge in issues that have to do with criminology in the cyberspace. So let me not talk much on that. Let the person who has come here for ICTs be able to talk more on that. But I'm just giving the general perspective. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for bringing us to what we are actually discussing today: cybersecurity and cloud computing. Let's look at your institution. What are some of those, because you said there are things to be done for us to get there. What are some of those things that the University of Buea or the School of Technology is doing to ensure that we fight cyber criminality?
Okay, thank you once again, Madam Alice. I'm happy you did mention about partnership. Mm-hmm. As a partnership is one of the things in this digital revolution that can help us to be competitive. As you know, like what Mr. Lucas just said, this internet today did not start in Africa. It started in the developed world. Mm-hmm. And those governments who developed it did not really look at the issue of cyber crimes. By that time, they were busy fighting about issues of drugs within the youth population. As it stands now, one of the greatest challenges that all the countries in the world are facing is what? Cyber crime is at the rise. Companies are losing billions in the hands of cyber crimes. Mm-hmm. And you know, the responsibility of every government is to make his country digitally ready. And digitally ready means that you should be able to secure small and medium-sized business enterprise from unauthorized use or harm. When we talk of these cyber crimes, where is the money coming from? They are getting the money from companies like you abroad. So those governments are struggling to see how they can counter it. And cyber security is just what? The training is either you are going offensive or you are going defensive. So defense is just a mechanism to be able to make sure that you secure information system from unauthorized use or harm. And so in the part of the university, like the third industrial revolution, no country alone is able to do all in its own. You need partnership from qualified individuals. So what the university is doing now is to go to get these programs, these very important technologies that are there, and then work with partnership from those who have been certified, authorized to practice it, and bring it to the university to train our population about the concept and the technologies involved in it. You should know that this technology, we are talking of skills. So the digital, the technology revolution is all about skills. So the university is working with partners, different partners, to bring about this training. As of now, the last time I was on air to speak about the cyber security, and today is about the cyber security and cloud computing. Presently, we are working on certification programs, and the partner that we have now for now is with Dubletech. Dubletech is composed of some of our students, alumni from the university, who after studying in the university for years, and they travel the world, work with Fortune 500 companies, and see how technology is being driven there, and they are working there, and they say, no, what about our country? Let's come back to the country and bring the same kind of skill training that is done in the US, in Europe, in Switzerland, and all of that here back in Cameroon, so that we'll be able to give our youth the skills that they need, not just about the certificate. Do you know the university graduate thousands of people per year on certificate? This training on the certification is not about certificate. What you focus is what can you do once you have the skills, and then you can be able to be competitive locally and internationally. And I will come in subsequently to talk about the other partnerships, what we are trying to address. And let me really just indicate here that when you look at reports from different standard organizations, you will see that they are talking about the fourth industrial revolution now. But we as a country, we are not yet there. Yes, we are still at the bottom line of the third industrial revolution, the active state. If you look at the report, you see the active state. And that active state is characterized by what? Poverty, unemployment, insecurity, and all of that, because the resources will not be really distributed. And so, for us to really climb the ladder to the fourth industrial revolution, there are some few things that the government in its own past needs to address to allow the country to be competitive, just like what it is in the other side. And you look at also the indicators from the fourth industrial revolution. Cyber security is one of the main technology that needs to be addressed. Cloud computing is one of the main technology. In fact, it's a cloud computing that will be coming to address, to accelerate the digital acceleration of our country. And I think that I should be, subsequently I will be explaining to you how it is. So the university is really working out of thorough research to see that we bring programs that are valuable programs, not just about that are rich in content, that can allow us to be competitive. Like I said, those who develop those technology are always at the upper hand, and there's a need for us to be trained on those skills. Like what I said, in the second industrial revolution, you saw the discovery and implementation of airplanes, cars, and all that. Which ones were implemented in Africa? None. We will continue to depend. And so when there is a revolution, the technology that follows, there is a gap, and the university is trying to bridge that gap to train on the same skills that are adopted by this and bring it to our community. With that, it will help us to move digitally.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mr. Let me come to you. Mr. Michael just made mention of something that he mentioned, Dubletech, that is brought to Cameroon by same Cameroonians who have studied here. They have gone out, they have experienced the world, and they see that this is what is needed now in this 21st century, and they are bringing it back to us here in Cameroon for our youth to gain these skills. Now, you always talk to about our diasporans who go out there. We know so many of them that goes out there and they don't come back. Some of them, even if they come, they just buy drinks and they don't really create that impact that is needed. What do you have to say about these people, the Dobritech, coming back with these skills to African youth?
Yeah, Dobritech, I think that they are proven themselves to be an example of Cameroonian youths who gained knowledge. They are experts in certain fields, especially in the area of cybersecurity and cloud computing. This is what we have been talking about, that when African youth gain knowledge, gain expertise elsewhere, they should bring it back to their community. So this is an example of a group of young people under the banner of Dobritech who have formerly come to the University of Buea. It's good they came formally, and who are now a partner to the University of Buea to train youths, to train Cameroonians, to train Africans, and to train everybody. It's not just for Cameroonians, it's for everybody. But it's an example of a good vision whereby Cameroonian youths can benefit right in their own community. African youths can benefit right in the African space. So, to be very honest, these are technological skills that the youth need. They need to study cybersecurity, they need to study cloud computing, and there are many others. But these ones are key skills that when they study, they can be able to work remotely and the rest. So I applaud and congratulate Dobritech for this move, for this adventure which they have taken, this bold step, this courageous step that they have taken to come to Cameroon, to come to the University of Buea, to partner with them, to train high-skilled professionals, especially youth and students. So youth, Cameroonian youth and students will take advantage of this opportunity, and it's really down to earth. So there is no way they can argue. This is an opportunity that has come to Cameroon, that has come to the youth, that has come to Africa, and which is open to everybody. It's high time. And let me tell you the truth, that especially CEOs, leaders, and the rest, they need to be trained to have the knowledge of cyber security. It's very, very important. Cybersecurity knowledge. Then going further now to also study cloud computing, especially for the youth and for students, is an example. If other Cameroonians abroad were coming back home with what they have studied and also bring it to say other youth should benefit, it would have gone far. But we have a lot of selfish other Cameroonians who don't bother. They only come here and drive cars and turn around with plaited hair and the rest, painted lips and the rest. No, please, we've gone past that stage. People want to gain skills that will help them put food on their table. And I think this is one of it. Dobritech, within 6 months, you can be trained. And who told you that you cannot have a remote job that you can work in from the confines of your home? There are many opportunities. And again, it's also a window for you to start getting certified in many other areas and move into the ladder of the ICTs. Why not? So Dobritech should be congratulated for this great move, for this great opportunity that they have brought to the Cameroonian space, to the University of Buea, and to other avenues that they will probably still come. They have invested a lot just to make sure that Cameroonian youths are trained, African youths are trained, African professionals, African CEOs, leaders, and so on are trained. It's not just for youths, it's not just for students, for everybody. Everybody can be trained as a cyber security professional. Everybody can be trained as a cloud computing and so on, so that you are tech literate and you function, especially CEOs and leaders that are not tech literate. Please, you are missing it. I encourage especially all those who are involved in one way or the other, business people and the rest, gain this knowledge. Is going to help you to protect your business better, to protect your systems. So it's a great move by Dobritech, and which we should truly applaud the fact that these youths have thought about their own Cameroonians, their own African brothers and sisters, so that they too should gain this knowledge, and why not gain jobs, work remotely, and so on. I can go on talking the whole day about things like this to encourage youth, students, and the population at large. Let us take advantage of it. It might not be there tomorrow, who knows? So now that it is there, let's take advantage of it and be trained. Thank you.
You're welcome. Someone said the best way to predict the future is to invent it in the first place. So I'm coming to you, Mr. Michael. You talked of how the university is going to get youth involved in these programs that is going to help them in future. But before then, I want us to talk, because we've mentioned cloud computing here several times, and maybe somebody is getting that for the first time. What is cloud computing?
Okay. So cloud computing is just what? The use of computing services over the internet. And I will give you a practical example. Today is a ghost town. Government institutions, everybody is at home.
That's according to you. Not
yes,
everybody
and I
is
see that it is a reality. If you move to all the offices, you see they are hiding at home. Nobody is out. Cloud computing helps you to work remotely, irrespective of wherever you are. Which means that if this is an office, you could still transfer all what is on-premise here locally to the cloud, and there you can even work at the comfort of your home. What makes the developed way is different from us is that you see even remote jobs, people work at the comfort of their home, supported by the help of what? Cloud. So basically, cloud computing is just the use of computing services over the internet. And I'll give you a good example, like the European Union, the US. Cloud technology itself is contributing hundreds of billions per year in their economy, because it is only through cloud that our small and medium-sized business will be able to connect digitally and scale. For instance, with me, I have a product here. The manufacturer of this product, and maybe it's locally here in Moliko, but somebody maybe in China wants to consume this product. How does he get to this supplier? This supplier needs to what? Inject technology, get to the cloud, host the platform. What cloud simply does to you is what? It provides you the infrastructure at no cost, at a very minimal cost. If you were thinking of how to scale this business to go globally, you will see that you will be thinking of what? The infrastructure, the resources, the technical knowledge, and all of that. So cloud takes charge of that, all of the infrastructure issue, the platform itself, the cloud provider that handles it, and then it helps small and medium-sized business to scale globally, and it speaks good for their economy, because what it will actually generate to the economy of that same country. And at this level, we are not yet connected. We are not really there. So what the university is doing is what? To train the population on the skills. When they have the skills, you'll be able to help this small and medium startup to be able to digitalize and scale globally.
I don't know. I heard something. I'm not really a tech person, but I heard something that if a company like, for example, High TV, it's important for us to engage in cloud computing, like saving our data, saving everything, because there are times that we lost a lot of data, we lost a lot of things that are very vital for the company, that it saves, it's like very vast space. It's not like me having my hard drive with limited space.
Yes.
Am I on track?
Yes. For instance, like here, if I ask you the data for the past 15 years I've been operating here, you will find it difficult to say. Whereas if you were on the cloud will provide you what? With the infrastructure and the platform. This will make this High TV to be competitive, to be global. Somebody in China wants to follow what we have done here, will just go to his app and the cloud and follow it. To subscribe to any service that you do, you will pay it and you will grow. You understand? By doing this locally, you are within our confinement and you are not scaling, and you can consequently, you cannot really create those jobs, because we are not injecting the technology that is supposed to expand, to scale the scalability of this company to move further. You understand? It's not here. So you need to implement cloud technology. Like, that's why I said that cloud is actually what will help our startup to be competitive, to be fed globally.
All right, thank you. Because I brought that, we have students that are going to the university that wants to study this can study this program, but it's also important for business owners, organizations to know that this is important also for you to go and get this training, because it can help enhance your business. It can help save a lot of troubles. In the course of the program, I'm sure Mr. Michael will explain those things. Mr. Musoke, when you look at our African country, you yourself, for example, have organized seminars, very important seminars, to impact skills, to impact knowledge on our youth, on the population, and you saw that the turnout was either very limited people. So I'm talking about the nonchalant attitude of most of our African youth. This is an opportunity that has been brought. Do you think that they are out of this, their attitude, or will they embrace it? Or what do you have as somebody that so many youth are looking up to tell them not to miss this opportunity?
Yes, but let me tell you the truth, that so many youths have already called me concerning this program, because this program has already been spread on social media. I've already received so many calls, and fortunately yesterday I received another call from a parent who saw the information that we spread and told me she wants the son, that the son just finished from the university, and that she wants the son have been looking for such a program. And I say, fine, the son can get enrolled. So let me tell you that the youths are eager, especially when you bring to them what makes sense, because at times there are so many things that are brought to use that do not make sense. But this is one of those things that makes sense, to study cybersecurity and cloud computing and other elements and other attachments at the peripheries. Because you might just hear cybersecurity and cloud computing and just think that maybe just, so no, there are many other things around. So what I'm trying to say here is that youth, this is a unique opportunity. I encourage youth to study technology as a whole. But I also wish that, even as much as they're studying, especially ICTs, information and computer technologies, but I wish that this specific particular program, this cyber security and cloud computing, is very, very important to youths and students and graduates, professionals, pastors. Very, very important. Pastors do a lot of work. They have databases, they have a lot of work that they need to protect what they have. So pastors are not left out. The clergy is not left out. I wish to see all the pastors in Buea study cybersecurity. There's nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in that. It will help them even improve their systems that they use in their churches. Women should not be left behind. Women, all ITV staff should enroll and study cybersecurity. Very, very important. We cannot leave this out. We cannot be indifferent. So it's all journalists should be able to have cybersecurity knowledge, so that when they are doing their social media work, they should be able to protect their systems. Please, it's for everybody. This is one of the things that everybody can study, this cybersecurity and cloud computing, because you need the knowledge for jobs. You also need the knowledge for your own self-protection and protection of your own systems. So you see how important it is. It is not just for jobs, to work remotely. It also helps you for your own personal data and the rest that you have for the protection of your own systems. So that's why I'm saying organizations like churches, NGOs, businesses, institutions, individuals, professionals, students, graduates, women, men, all should engage to study cybersecurity and cloud computing. It's so important that the knowledge will help them to be able to reach out to others and to be able to reach out to themselves and work remotely, have jobs, and you find yourself empowered. And who knows, you can also become a trainer of the same stuff tomorrow and help others to also grow in those systems. Owners of NGOs, like most of these young people who have small NGOs who are calling themselves CEOs and the rest, but you are not yet CEO, because someday we'll come out to talk about things like that. But you are young people coming up, aspiring. This is the type of knowledge you need, so that before you go far, you should be able to protect that which you have. It's very, very important. So cybersecurity, I think that is very, very important. Dobotech has come up with a model to train you people. We know there are many other trainers who are training, but this one, you know, is specific because it's partners with one of the best universities in Cameroon, the University of Buea. So, and you know, everything University of Buea is so strong, it's so important, it's highly professional. So get yourself involved, get yourself enrolled. After 6 months, you find yourself already swimming, then you continue, because it's a continuous process. It doesn't mean that thereafter you keep it. No, you go into higher heights so that you are actually highly expertized when you go to higher heights. But I wish to encourage graduates, students, and all of you, get enrolled into this program and be trained as a cybersecurity expert, cybersecurity professional, cloud security, cloud computing expert, and so on. There are many things. And let me tell you that one of the things which I've observed with Africans is that they should not always wait for something to, first of all, spread too much. When something is new, cybersecurity is spreading. Companies need cybersecurity experts, organizations, governments, and so on. You yourself, you need the cybersecurity knowledge. So now that it's growing, it's good to get involved and be trained so that you will also be part of the train that is running with this knowledge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Michael, you know, there are many other technological institutions, especially here in Buea, and they are also partnering with other people who are out of the country on certain courses. I want to look at the university. How advantageous, or is it more advantageous for you as a student to go to these certification programs in a state university than a private university or institution? Is it more? What are the advantages?
Okay. One of the things you should know is that the university, I don't know what any other institution around the region already have that accreditation from Amazon.